A couple of months ago, an article came out that confirmed everything that we have been alleging about Antarctica and these domes of ice. The idea that there could be a civilization living under the ice in Antarctica that's either A, being hidden from us by the powers that be, or B, still wants nothing to do with modern civilization. I could probably make arguments for both. Now, the reason I didn't cover it 2 months ago when this came out was because another channel I have a great deal of respect for, Atlantean Gardens, Robert Sepper, last name spelled S-E-P-E-H-R, picked up the story and did a video on it. So I just wanted to give a couple of months so that I didn't walk on his coverage, so to speak. But the information is incredible. And it also shows something that makes what we've alleged almost 100% bulletproof. These Ukrainian researchers went to a place called Galindus Island. It's this tiny little island up on the peninsula of Antarctica. And I'll zoom in here real quick for you guys. It's way, way up here. It's this tiny little island. Now, here you can barely make it out. But what they found, cavern with a dome 500 meters high, 3 lakes, a river, 200 meters of walkway, and most importantly, they found the feather of a bird frozen in ice that was not a penguin. Now, they have sent that for testing, but it proves, in theory, it could be very possible that a civilization is existing out of the eye, so to speak, of modern man. Now, the level of advancement, what they have, who they are, how they got there, who their descendants are, all that is something that we would need to have relations with this civilization to find out. I don't blame them one bit for not wanting anything to do with the modern, I don't even know what the word is, tyranny that goes on right now in the world as we know it. I mean, the idea of exploration for its own sake anymore is almost dead. Now, very strangely, I want to show something going on at Galindus Island back in 2004 that is just a curiosity, but I do have an entire region that I had investigated that I completely forgot about that I want to show you too. But back in the 2004 layer, January 25th, 2004 to be exact, here at the mouth of this opening, this river, there is this very strange thing that's throwing a wake. Now, could it be a boat? Maybe it could be a boat. It's the weirdest shaped boat I've ever seen in my life. The vast majority of boats in the world are much longer than they are wide. This would be a boat that is wider than it is long. And it is throwing a wake. It's very, very strange. Now, also nearby, let me see if I can find the right layer. It's definitely not that one for sure. There's another boat, and well, it looks like it's disappeared. Let me see if I can zoom in and find it. It's very difficult to see. It's a very large boat, which is kind of strange. But it has another... Oh, here it is. I found it. Now, it's very likely that this here is just another boat that they've just recently launched, and this is just its wake. But what I find curious is here. I mean, unless they launched a Zodiac that's just circling in the region, This is a lot of activity for 2004, given that they didn't discover what they discovered until 2018, 19. It means they might know some things that they have known some things for quite a while that they haven't been sharing. Now, something else real quick I wanted to show. To me, to my mind, the evidence of civilization will be things like this. See, this isn't something the satellite was supposed to pick up. These constructed channels. If there were going to be a civilization, they would have needed to have trade. And if they had trade, they would need to have deep water ports. This looks exactly like some type of a construct of a deep water port. And for those of you thinking, oh, that's just what the icebreakers did, no chance. No chance, and I'll tell you why. First of all, I won't have to tell you why, I'll show you why. This channel, from its opening to the end here, is almost 40 kilometers long. And that's not the most important part. It's almost 3/4 of a mile wide. Cutting open a 3/4 of a mile wide channel. This is this little channel right here. Not the big one, this little one. Cutting that open, and to the extent that a satellite could pick it up, and creating it in this kind of a shape, that is far beyond the ability of any. We would have to take every modern icebreaker in the world and have them attempt to do this, to create this. This is evidence of an ancient port. And we've shown this in other areas. I have avoided the peninsula like the plague because there's just so much human activity that it's hard to say anything we would find would be for sure that it would be evidence of an ancient civilization. This, however, there's no way. In fact, I'll go ahead and measure this for you at the widest point here. It is in kilometers. Oops, hold on. There we go. In kilometers, it is about 5 kilometers wide. For those of you here in the US, that makes it about 3.5 miles wide, meaning almost horizon. If you were here, standing here on this edge of the opening, 3 miles is pretty close to horizon. That's how big this is. This would have taken an enormous effort. So, anyway, but without delay, another region completely all the way down at the 6 o'clock area that I found. This is an area, this is a year, this is 2011. I know a lot of this is melt, but this doesn't look like it. I'm not sure what this is, but there's something very strange going on right here. And I don't have a good name for it, but this almost looks alive. Now, that's not the most curious thing. What would make this perfect circle with something very strange in the middle of it? And just to give you an idea of where this is and what this is, it's off the coast here. And there's this very strange, and it happens over and over again, these pools of what science likes to say is iron oxide. Guys, that ain't iron oxide. There ain't no way. It's just not the case. It's just too bright red. Iron oxide is more like a burnt brownish red. But the one thing I'm going to leave you with is going to completely freak you out, and that's why I saved it for the end of the video. All right, I'm going to zoom in here, and I'm going to ask you what you see. I mean, I know what I see. I've seen the all-seeing eye of Horus many times. And I don't know how you explain that image. Especially given that it's in this perfect diamond. This looks like it could have been lifted right off U.S. money. So I guess I'll just leave it there and let you guys take a look at it. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.